Free Talk Live, dial toll-free, and join us here, live Sunday edition of the show. You can join us at number 855-450-FREE. That's the toll-free line, 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Joining you tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Mark.
If you are an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, get on over to liberty.menu, where you can list the things that you do there, so other people who care about freedom can know that you exist and that you do those things. Maybe you'll get some new business out of it. It's a free listing, and if you want to list more than one thing, that's free too. Get on over to liberty.menu where you can do that. And if you want, you can use code FTL on your user profile and get a Free Talk Live listener badge. That's liberty.menu. As we go to your calls and thoughts, we'll talk more about this New York Times piece proposing the ban or the shutting down, I guess, of 8chan, which is a website on which apparently certain angry young males are talking about killing people, including yesterday's alleged killer who is in custody after killing nearly 24 people in Texas at a Walmart, at and around a Walmart. We'll tell you more about that proposal coming up here in moments, but let's go to your phone calls and thoughts first, where Mark is on the line in Missouri listening to KFEQ. Hello, Mark.
As Missouri, and I was just wondering, the other guy said something about his penmanship was bad. Did he write that manifesto out by hand?
Who said that?
No, I should have said
Maybe
prose.
syntax or
Yeah, something, anything
Grammar.
besides that. But it's live radio, and sometimes you F it up.
No, it was a text file. It was a PDF file that we downloaded yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, and before that, you said something about the Republicans weren't pandering to the Latinos.
Well, I think that the Republicans
were they pandering to the black people in the 1860s?
I don't think they were pandering, but I think that likely the most blacks, when they were freed from slavery, probably voted Republican, would be my guess.
Well, who was the first black senator?
I don't have any. I'm not able to answer that. Sorry, I don't know.
Well, look it up on the internet. I believe he was a Republican. He was the first black congressman.
So what's the point you're trying to make here?
Yeah, that seems to be in alignment with what Mark said, that they would have voted Republican anyway.
I'm not clear what you're getting at, Mark.
It's not pandering when you're just trying to do what is right.
Right.
Okay.
So the point you're trying to make, that the Republicans are trying to do what's right when it comes to immigration, and that may not be going over well with the Latino community. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I think it's going over just fine with the Latinos because they know that they had to come in correctly. We're not talking legal, we're talking illegal. Illegal immigration is bad. Legal immigration is not good.
That's a terrible moral compass.
Well, regardless of how you feel about it.
I've got your moral compass.
What is your moral compass? Do you judge morality based on what's legal or illegal?
Well, we were talking about practicality here, gentlemen.
Okay, now we got into morality. Huh?
I've got 3 Mexican grandchildren. How many you got?
None.
None.
Well, what's that have to do with anything?
How many Mexican children do you have?
What does that have to do with anything? I asked you a question about morality. I asked you, do you determine your morality based on what's legal or illegal?
Yeah, I do.
Well, that's ridiculous, sir.
If you're breaking
that's the dumbest
law,
crap I've ever heard.
Moral.
Well,
the law is garbage. The law is trash. There's plenty of garbage laws out there, and they all deserve to be broken by good people. Don't you think? Don't you think it was the right thing to do, sir, in the 1800s, to break the law and help hide people hide escaped slaves from the police and their masters?
Didn't they have a war over that?
Excuse me?
Didn't they have a war over that?
I'm asking you
a war
whether
over that.
you thought that it was the right thing to do to hide a slave.
I wasn't there, but I would have hit a slave.
Okay, so then you've now said to me that you've said two conflicting things. On one hand, you've said what is legal and illegal defines morality. Now you've admitted that what was illegal, that is to say hiding a slave, was actually in fact the moral thing to do.
No, I did not.
Oh, really? So it was
they were fighting a war over it. before the war.
So you're saying that it would be
Illegal.
immoral. Hold on. I just want to clarify something. You're saying that if you were to have hidden a slave, you would have been doing something that was illegal, but yet you would also think that it was immoral, that you wouldn't think that you were right to do it?
I would not have thought it was right, no.
But you would have
I
done
would
it
have
anyway.
Anyway,
Why would you do something that you didn't think was right?
Especially if it's illegal.
because it's the right thing to do, except for it was against the law.
Oh, no!
So
I'm
the
really
law
confused.
doesn't define what's right and wrong.
Well, the law defines everything.
Yeah, very confusing, sir. Very
Mark,
confusing.
I don't understand any of that, but I'm going to go on, and I want
Yeah.
to talk about a practical stance for Republicans here. Because, look, man, this concerns me greatly. I'm not trying to be all let's open the borders and make the Republicans all mad. I'm trying to come up with a solution that will make everybody, that makes sense for everybody. And that's why I say things like, let's open the borders and let free people who want to come here and work hard, come here and work hard. None of them will ever be able to receive any kind of government assistance, and none of them that come here will ever be able to vote. And I think that addresses some things. I believe it's an olive branch. One thing that's certainly true is if you look up the statistics, is that Latinos are less likely to vote Republican than they were before 2001.
Do you think by using that proposal, you would get less Democrats reaching out to minority
Democrats
voters?
want Latinos to come to this country so that they'll vote Democrat.
Yeah, that's the narrative.
They don't want them
Okay.
because they care anything about Latino families.
Okay.
They don't give a damn about that. They want them to come here to vote Democrat. And the Republicans are doing what would appear like everything to help them. And all I'm saying is that, like it or not, that the time has passed that there will be a majority of white babies born in this country. So if you brand your political party, we're the white guys, right? Then you have the dying political party whose demographics don't matter. Now, you could be like Mark here and believe that that's the right thing to do. And if you believe that's the right thing to do, you should do the right thing. However, consider the practical course of things before you go and just run out there and, we'll get all them legals, lock them up and throw them out of the country or whatever.
Do you care if the white party dies off?
I don't care about any of it. All I'm telling my fellow Republicans out there is, ladies and gentlemen, this is there's an iceberg out there. Turn the ship. Turn the ship. And everybody's like, no, this is the iceberg crusher.
No, see, and I'm okay if they all hit the iceberg.
Right.
So.
Let them bloom, sink. I'm leaving this country when I retire. I don't want anything to do with it anymore.
Thank you, Mark, for your call tonight, man. I appreciate hearing from you. The toll-free number, if you want to join us, is 855-450-FREE. We got more on 8chan. Should the site be shut down? If it is shut down, then what happens? Because the people who inhabit the site aren't going to disappear.
Shut them down, too.
There's more coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live.
Dear FTL, we've got chemtrail down here in West Virginia.
Be nice.
You've never seen them? Contrail disappear relatively quickly compared to the chemtrail.
If anybody that's listening that wants to fight the chemtrails, there's things called
How are you gonna fight them? Wait a minute.
called
Big fans?
cloudbusters.
Wadbusters? I gotta give UFO hoaxers more credit. At least they go out and build a little saucer and they tie it to a
cardboard
string.
saucer.
And yeah, I'd love to see a semi-legitimate website reporting anything on this particular issue. I don't think
you're going to get that.
I just asked semi-legitimate.
You want a doctor to say it? There's a bunch of doctors.
Doctors. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you're an expert or smart.
Or it doesn't even mean you're a doctor. Okay, go on my website later on tonight, and I'll be Dr. Manwich, okay?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you're able to join us here, the live Sunday edition of the show. With you tonight, it's Ian. Oh, sorry, Rich. Let me try this again.
Rich.
All right.
And Mark.
There we go. We're talking about the proposal to shut down 8chan, a website on which some of the murderers, like the alleged shooter from Texas yesterday, who is in custody, and we don't know about this new shooter today in Dayton, Ohio. But at least the guy from Texas apparently was a 8chan poster. He allegedly posted his 4-page-long manifesto on that site. The New York Times is now posting an article calling for it to be shut down. Is that the right solution?
That's stupid on so many levels.
It is, and we're going to get into why coming up here in moments. Your calls and thoughts are, of course, welcome. Whether it's on the shootings or whatever you want to talk about, you can join us here at toll-free number 855-450, free like freedom. Before we go on with your calls and thoughts, I do want to let you know about Bitcoin.com. It is one of the most renowned websites out there. It's a great URL, easy to go and learn about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash there at Bitcoin.com. But they also have, in addition to a great news site and other features, they also have one of their newest sites, which is local.bitcoin.com. It's been open for, actually, as of today, 2 months. So it's just hit its 2-month-long anniversary. It allows you to buy and sell Bitcoin Cash in a somewhat anonymous manner, meaning that there's no ID requirement in order to sign up for the site. And all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So you've got way more privacy when you're buying and selling Bitcoin Cash at local.bitcoin.com. And you can do it with dozens of payment methods. Some of the more high-risk ones, like PayPal and Venmo. Others not as high-risk, like a bank cash deposit or remittances, or maybe even meeting somebody in real life. You can go to local.bitcoin.com to get started there. It's local.bitcoin.com. To Kirby in Indianapolis, watching us online on YouTube. Go ahead, Kirby.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey, Kirby.
Haven't called in a while. Just to preface this, man, I'm 58 years old. I'm black, and no, they should not shut down that website. First Amendment says we can say what we want to so long as we don't act out on it.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 shootings these last 2 days, I know somebody's going to throw rocks at me, but this is white terrorism, pure and simple. If these were Muslim guys, it would be Muslim terrorists. If they were Nation of Islam type, it would be Muslim domestic terrorism. But this is still terrorism. And
one of the articles I read real quick, Kirby, was describing the investigation as that of domestic terrorism.
Right. The guy down in El Paso was like he fits every description you're going to come up with for terrorism. I don't know whether I can pass judgment on the Dayton guy at this point, but maybe
so fresh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there that there's a narrative out there for domestic terrorism, white or otherwise. So it's not like they're glossing over it.
There is, but look how long it took them to do it. I mean, this is nothing new.
Well, it's day 2, man.
When my parents were children, this happened every week in pretty much every city in America, and it's just now that in 2019 it's being called terrorism. But be that as it may.
Well, they called the guy down in South Carolina a terrorist, and that's probably been 3 or 4 years.
Which guy?
The one that shot up the black church.
Dylan Roof?
I mean, that guy's a freaking terrorist.
Him to Burger King after they arrested him, he goes to Burger King. I mean, but what I'm getting to is that this is about this. How do I say this? Because I know I'm on the radio and I don't want to get you censored. Doo-doo runs downhill.
Yeah, it does.
We got a president who emboldens and empowers these people. They woke up when Obama got elected because they were like Clayton Bigsby and they smelled that word.
Well,
and
this latest guy. Hold on, before you go on, this latest guy is not a Trump fan. The guy they're saying committed the act, the murders today in Dayton, he describes himself as a socialist and was specifically speaking out against Trump's election on his Twitter.
Would have supported Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that. Again, we're dealing with somebody who's on a fringe.
Sure.
Anybody in America who calls themselves a socialist, a fascist, a white nationalist, a black nationalist, they're all on the fringe, and they should all be watched very, very carefully. Me personally, I'm stuck in the middle. I believe we should be seeking equity and freedom, not in oppression. But again, I'm 58 years old, black, and I might not be that bright, but I don't leave the house without a firearm. I don't even go to the latrine without a firearm.
That might be a little excessive.
Thank you for your service.
Although there was an article recently about a guy who fended off intruders into his house with the gun he kept in his shower. Because he was in the shower at the time when they broke in.
Amazing.
And he had a shower gun.
He had a shower gun.
He had a shower gun.
Man had a shower gun.
So, you think you're paranoid.
You never know, man.
Dude had a shower gun and
you never know. Hey, Kirby, thanks for sharing your thoughts here tonight. I definitely appreciate hearing from you, as always. Our toll-free number, if you want to join us, it's 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Kirby's saying there that these fringe, potential terrorist types need to be watched. Well, if they shut down 8chan, it's going to make it that much harder to watch what these people are saying, because we haven't gotten into the details here on what the founder of 8chan has to say about it, according to the New York Times, but he's calling for his own website to be shut down, apparently. And if you shut this thing down, the people who inhabit the site are just going to go somewhere else. They probably already have the somewhere else planned out, and or will create it when the time comes. Yeah. And there's a good chance, I'll just go out on a limb here and say that they are going to go deeper underground.
Dark web.
To the dark web, where 8chan is not a dark web site. Anybody can go to 8chan. They can look and see what's on 8chan. They can post there without having to download the Tor browser. It's not a requirement. But if if they want to have more privacy, then they can go to the dark web and then you won't be able to easily or as easily trace the host of the website. You won't know who is necessarily behind the website. You won't be able to find the website operator as easily. Now, obviously, we know that the federal government has managed to sort of uncloak some of the darknet marketplace websites over time, and they've, if they put enough resources into it, they seem to be able to do that sort of thing. But it's going to make it that much harder for people to monitor the site, for people to access the site, but yet all the people who want to will still find ways to do it.
And if 8chan is that popular where everyone is supposedly knows about it now, right, I'm sure there's already law enforcement watching that site, monitoring what's going on. And then, like you said, if you shut it down, then what? Then they got to go find it again and re-infiltrate it because they've moved.
Yeah.
Whereas now it is being monitored, and yet, nothing is being done either. They haven't prevented any of those gunmen from going out and doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to... These people, the gunmen, are crazy, but not necessarily stupid. So they're not going to likely post their itinerary of where they're going to go shoot. They're just going to post the fact that they are going out in a blaze of glory, and here's their manifesto.
And the manifesto.
Right.
There is another libertarian argument here. The other libertarian argument is that these people are threatening violence with their, incitement to riot, or, basically effectively putting out a hit on somebody. Hiring a hitman is not acceptable in the libertarian world. So incitement to riot, there's an argument, is not acceptable in the libertarian world. However, if you take that stance, in my opinion, you also say that all advocating for any government program is now hate speech, because you're advocating for a group of armed people to do your bidding.
Because that's what's behind every government program.
Every single government program has people. Yeah, right. I mean, it's just a group of people. It's just a group of people.
But just because somebody on 8chan may advocate for, as this shooter from yesterday apparently did, advocate for his, quote, brothers to spread not only his manifesto, but to also, in the manifesto, it recommends that they also follow suit and find targets and find, easy targets to shoot up. That was on the last page. We didn't get a chance to get that deep. We read like 2.5 out of the 4 pages last night.
Right.
It got a little rambly and, even crazier toward the end. The toll-free number here is 855-453.
4 pages.
He did. It was mercifully brief. And so if one person posts a threat, that doesn't mean that everybody on 8chan's a bad guy, or that everybody should be censored because of the acts of certain people. There's more on the way here. You can take control of the airwaves. This is Free Talk Live.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for Life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthrodex for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for Life too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. The IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You may take control of the airwaves here. Our toll-free number for you is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Tonight with you, it's Ian.
Richie Rich.
And Mark.
Richie is one of the hosts of the Anarchist Experience. Tell me about it.
Anarchistexperience.com. My co-host was on a camping trip this weekend, so I covered that shooting a little bit from a different perspective.
You mean the one in Texas?
Yes. And then college admissions was on my plate this week as far as people scamming their way to get federal aid. So that was fun.
Like the Lori Loughlin situation? Or?
Not exactly the same thing. These were
that wasn't federal, was it? No, they paid for it. They just scammed their way to get into the college.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a scam.
This was people finding a loophole in the guardianship laws. So they would give up guardianship of their teenager, 17 years and 11 months, and that makes the 17 and 11-month-old an independent person and therefore qualifies for low-income college aid because, their wealthy parents no longer have any financial responsibility for them.
Check them out over at anarchistexperience.com.
That's correct.
All right. And it is a podcast. You can download episodes there and subscribe as well at anarchistexperience.com. Let's go to Mike. He's in Chattanooga listening to WGOW-FM. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's on your mind?
Hey, I just think that it's kind of sad that this individual has to, feels the need to go and slaughter 20 people and attempt to kill more. Obviously,
it's horrifying.
Yeah, it's horrifying. And I'm 45 now. I spent most of my life in law enforcement. I worked in corrections. I worked in police patrol. I've been on special units, all that kind of stuff. And I'm a pro-gun guy. I'm kind of like the caller before. I play golf. I got my gun. I go into the bank. I don't care about the little circle with the slash through it that says no gun. I don't care about that.
Right.
I take it right there. I have a concealed carry permit. I do it legally. But it's
Would you have arrested someone who wasn't doing it?
Listen. The greatest weapon that police have is their discretion. You know what I mean? I've dumped out marijuana and let people go. I've done.
Thank you for
that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, well, no, definitely. Thank you. No problem. I think the whole morality question with the laws and the morals that you asked before that previous caller, I think his understanding was a little bit limited, so he didn't really understand what you were saying with the morality and all and everything like that. If he'd hide his slave.
Well, no, it is. You're right. His understanding was limited because he had adhered himself to the idea that the law is morality, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's
definitely not.
They try.
It's definitely not.
They have it in their mind, morals, when they pass certain laws. However, making something illegal versus illegal does not define its morality, and there's been so many different examples of this over time, and it's refreshing to hear a police officer actually make the statement.
Oh, I found out about libertarianism from law enforcement officers. So,
I'm an ex-police officer now, so let's, I'm from the north. When I moved down south, I just, they didn't have the type of finance, they don't pay that much, and they didn't have the benefits that police officers, like unions and police, they didn't have the kind of stuff that really, really attracts people with the great incentives, along with, I'm an independent contractor now. But in any case, I don't think Donald Trump is a racist. I think he's bigoted. And I think that, he's political and social kind of racist tendencies. I don't think he's a racist. I think he capitalizes on anything that's going to get him news, anything that's going to get him his base riled up. And I think he just kind of capitalizes on that. Do I think he's like a staunch racist? No. I think he has like the old school kind of bigot kind of mentality. He's like the Archie Bunker kind of mentality. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's a dyed-in-the-wool racist.
No, if he was a racist, there'd be some evidence. There'd be some pretty clear statements.
Do you think he has a tendency to pander to a racist base?
Yeah. He and it's just I kind of think it's just my personal belief. I think that the Black Panther Party in the '60s, if the government could call them communists and go after them and arrest them and get rid of them as fast as they can, I think they can do a little bit better job with some of these racist groups that are forming militias and having clubhouses and all kind of stuff. Do I think they should take down their website? What is it, HN or whatever it is? No, I do not. Just like you said earlier, how can it be monitored? Like if someone's coming and telling me, if I got a CI or confidential informant or somebody's telling me all this stuff, I'm not going to out them because I'm going to lose my tongue. I'm going to lose my avenue for information. So
it's always better to let the information flow.
Yeah,
it's always better because it will find a way around whatever blocks people try to put up.
Yes, not too long ago, I saw on Facebook somebody said that something to the effect that some representative saying, "Well, Donald Trump says some things that are certainly disgusting or whatever, but he's not a racist." And then I saw a couple of libertarian ladies, who are these left libertarian sorts, basically arguing at some point or another that I get upset when anybody starts using the dictionary definition of racism or sexism. I'm like, what other definitions are there to words besides the dictionary definition? I didn't even bother walking into this conversation because I knew that I was not going to walk out happy.
Yeah. And it's very true. It's very true. And, the whole gun, a lot of the Democrats are jumping on the bandwagon now. They're saying, oh, the gun laws. I'll tell you what, and this is the plainest example I can make. If I were a criminal or a terrorist or someone who had intent to cause massive harm to a bunch of people, I wouldn't say, okay, you know what, let me read the laws and see what I can and can't do, what kind of gun I can and can't possess. No law on the books. There's too many guns in the United States. No law on the books right now is going to ever change gun violence.
Right. I mean, not a single one of the people that you ever arrested as a police officer were following the laws. They don't care.
Well, even if they stop manufacturing, the genie's out of the bottle with 3D printing.
Yeah. I worked in New York State, and to have a pistol in New York State, you have to have you have to have it signed off on a judge. You got to get a permit. You got to say, well, it's
ridiculous.
to protect my. Yeah, you cannot have a pistol. And I've arrested so many young males, in the inner city, and I'm a black man in the inner city with guns. I've made one arrest, 5 guns out of a car. And if you work in the South as a police officer, the Carolinas or Alabama or Tennessee, everybody and their grandmother's got a gun. It's no big deal. But when you get a gun arrest in New York State, you're the man. You got guys in your station high-fiving you and all kind of other stuff. You're not supposed to have guns, and everybody's got them. Everybody. So, the law on paper is not the bad guys who don't listen to the law, don't obey the law. they're going to prosper because everyone's going to have to hand in their guns or be restricted on what kind of weapons they can have.
Right.
And they're going to fill out their permits and get their stamps and register, do whatever they got to do.
Or
Go
join
do
the
their
police
background
force.
check.
It's just going to make the slaughters even more easy to commit.
Oh, definitely. So they need to stop crying about the gun laws. That's not going to stop it.
No.
It's not going to stop. They got to figure something else out. But changing gun laws will never stop gun violence. Never,
I'm with you.
ever.
Thank you. Great call
Never.
tonight, Mike. Really
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
hearing
Take
from
care.
you. That's
All right.
Mike there in Chattanooga, former cop.
If gun laws were going to make a difference in this circumstance, then laws about felons getting guns would make a difference. Felons in this country get all the guns they want to get. It's already completely illegal for them to have them, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure.
There's no law out there that says, okay, it's fine and dandy for felons to have guns. I'm a felon. I could have a gun by the end of the day. I could have an assault rifle by the end of the day tomorrow. Right? Like, that's how long these things take. And I probably could do better than that if I had to.
Mm-hmm.
And, so...
Basically what the former cop just said. Anybody that wants a gun can get one if that's what they want to do, if they don't care about what the law says. And criminals, by definition, don't care about what the law says.
Right, and what they're talking about is, we got to get rid of these assault weapons or whatever. I mean, everybody's got their own plan, and all of them suck. There's no plan that's going to work.
I have the best plan. The best plan is secession now. So these people who want to have a total state, like the guy that was the killer, the alleged killer in Texas, he was like a total statist. He can move, to California or someplace where there's, going to be a total state, total socialist state. This current guy today apparently is socialist. He can choose, the different socialist states. And then those people who want like, a red state or something, they can have that where there's like a theological government there or theocracy. And then, those of us who actually want freedom can move to New Hampshire and we can have more freedom. I think that would make these people happy because a lot of them in their manifestos seem to be very, very frustrated with the political status quo.
Yeah.
You have to be frustrated to shoot a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Well, I was also going to say that the Dayton shooter, I think they described his weapon as like Kalashnikov-like.
I heard it was an AK-47
right.
WASR.
So I was like, oh man, already they're trying to tie this, to the whole Russian meddling thing, saying that it's a Russian style rifle as well now.
Well, I think he got an AK because it's cheap.
Yeah.
They're cheap, they're available, they're reliable,
for the most
super
part.
reliable. Yeah. There's more. There's a great video online where some guy takes an AK-47 and like throws it in a mud puddle and then runs over it with a truck and like does all this kind of stuff to it, does abuse, and then picks it up and fires it. There's more coming up here in moments. 8:55, 450, free. Like Freedom, Hour 2's next. It's Free Talk Live.
I'm a little obsessed with My Magic Mud. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, the founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I didn't even know my teeth were coffee stained. A week's worth of use convinced me, and now I use it every 3 or 4 days. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, and I think it cleans better, too. My Magic Mud's available at most local health food stores, Sprouts, Natural Grocers, CVS, Walmart's Natural Beauty Aisle, but I can get it for you for 20% off with coupon code FTL20 at mymagicmud.com. FTL20 mymagicmud.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,439, silver at $16.31, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,388. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, physicians from 2 top universities are calling on Congress to promptly investigate the deaths of 6 migrant children in the government's custody, warning that the widely reported poor conditions in detention centers could be putting thousands of children at risk for infectious diseases. The Mind Unleashed reports that 3 of the 6 children who died while in U.S. custody since last September died partially because they had contracted influenza. 2 died after spending twice the amount of time in a Border Patrol station than the Department of Homeland Security typically allows. About 2,000 migrant children are in U.S. custody on any given day, many after a grueling journey from Central America and elsewhere. The children are in Border Patrol stations, where many have been kept for far longer than the facilities are equipped to house people. Detention centers run by ICE and the Health and Human Services Department, and facilities run by for-profit government contractors like CoreCivic. The doctors urge lawmakers to probe how the widely reported unsanitary conditions in the centers contributed to the deaths that have been recorded. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report from Georgetown Law's Center on Privacy and Technology suggests that Immigration and Customs Enforcement may be using illegal immigration as a type of cover to track and spy on Americans in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. Activist Post reports that 3 years ago, the center revealed that nearly half of all U.S. adults are already in the FBI's facial recognition database, which is largely sourced from DMV photos. ICE has apparently requested special access to Department of Motor Vehicles databases in at least 3 states, Utah, Washington State, and Vermont, which the federal agency plans to use in conjunction with facial recognition technology to scan people's driver's license photos and match them against criminal and residency databases, all without their knowledge or consent. The documents uncovered this week are the first confirmation that states have granted ICE specifically, not just the FBI, access to those databases. The CIA has released a batch of documents detailing how their Office of Public Affairs staff met with film director Michael Bay and successfully leaned on him to make changes to the script to his film 13 Hours. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 2016 action thriller is the only major movie Hollywood has produced about the attacks on the United States Special Mission in Benghazi and the nearby CIA annex. It grossed less than $70 million against a $50 million budget and is the least commercially successful film Bay has ever produced. While audiences rated 13 Hours more highly than critics, the film's attempt to capitalize on the politics of the Benghazi attacks largely failed. The documents released under the Freedom of Information Act reveal that Bay first approached the CIA in March 2015, weeks before production started. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty, with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A Colorado man reminisced Monday about a simpler time when he only masturbated to still images on the internet. 36-year-old Timothy Barchuk, who now says he requires multiple streaming hardcore videos just to get excited, willfully reflected on the days of waiting for slowly loading images of naked women to appear.
Look at this picture of Phoebe Cates. Sure, you can pull it up in 2 seconds now. Back in the old days, you'd have to wait for it to materialize on your screen pixel by pixel. It's not about her tits, which are nice, but it's about waiting for them. Nowadays, you could pull up 8 different videos of anal sex at once. Who cares?
In local news, the person who will one day become the warlord ruler of what was once Nebraska is born in an Omaha hospital. And in other news, a man and woman get drunk and blow $30,000 in one night. A lonely college student calls up his mom to talk about Harold and Kumar, and another dead body is tossed on a heap somewhere. For more, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the second hour of the program. You're, as always, invited here if you want to join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Some are saying that 8chan should be shut down. It is a message board, a message platform, a anonymous, so-called anonymous message platform that is apparently the home to at least one of these recent shooters, the man who allegedly shot up a Walmart yesterday and the mall area around the Walmart, killing approximately 19 people.
On NPR today, I heard the claim that that mall was, in fact, a gun-free zone.
Is that right? So the question is, was the Walmart included on the mall property?
If it's part of the mall.
Well,
and I don't know what I think about that. Do I think that these killers look around and say, well, let me find a gun-free zone? Or do I think that large places just don't want people with guns to go there? You know, which then results in these killers going there, and then, you know, presumably some people leave their gun in the car. I don't know how many do it, but if you make the rule that says this is a gun-free zone, some people are going to obey the rule and some people are not going to obey the rule.
All right. We just had the last caller on the phones was explaining to us that he didn't care what the bank said. If he's got a concealed gun, he's not going to take it out.
I don't see a concealed. To me, a concealed carry permit holder has no obligation to follow those rules, to my mind.
Well, you're never obligated to follow the rules, but those are the rules of the private property owner.
Yep.
And if they discover that you're breaking them, they certainly have the right to kick you off of their property.
They certainly could.
But if it's concealed, well, then they're never going to know.
Right.
So who's it really harming? And I felt the same way about, there was a bar here in town that we used to meet at. I felt the same way about their no weapons policy. It's like, yeah, if you're being responsible and you're not waving your gun around in the bar, you know, as long as it's concealed, then it's nobody's business whether you have it there or not. But anyway, since you asked the question, Mark, about what these killers think about where to target, I have pulled up the manifesto from the alleged El Paso shooter, his alleged manifesto, and I'm going to just jump to the very end here where he gives advice to the people to whom, you know, this is addressed, which is presumably his brethren at the 8chan website.
Peeps.
He says, "Remember, it's not cowardly to pick low-hanging fruit. AKA, don't attack heavily guarded areas to fulfill your super soldier COD fantasy." I think COD stands for Call of Duty, which is a video game series.
I see.
First-person shooter. He says, attack low-security targets. Even though you might outgun a security guard or policeman, they'll likely beat you in armor, training, and numbers. Do not throw away your life on an unnecessarily dangerous target. If a target seems too hot, live to fight another day. So those are his recommendations. He didn't say specifically to pick a gun-free zone, but did say don't, you know, pick a heavily armed target. So it sounds like he did. So in other words, he basically said that without using those
don't
words.
go out on a killing spree either if you value your life, because, you know.
True.
If
he did say in the previous paragraph that his death is likely inevitable.
Yeah.
And further.
Well, all of our deaths are inevitable. This guy, however, didn't have the cojones to go ahead and take the bullet like he said he was going to.
He claimed that he was going to, he said, capture in this case is far worse than dying during the shooting because I'll get the death penalty anyway, he says. Worse still is that I would live knowing that my family despises me. This is why I'm not going to surrender, even if I run out of ammo.
And he did.
If I'm captured, it will be because I was subdued somehow.
Nope, he wasn't.
No? You don't think? Did you see video of his capture?
No, my understanding that it was just taken, though.
Oh, really?
I saw a picture of him being arrested outside, yeah, but I didn't see how they got him.
So if you want to comment, you can join us here. Let's go to Red Devil on the line in Montana on our Discord server. Go ahead, Red Devil.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so first off, thanks for doing the Discord server stuff because I can't get your guys' radio show here in Montana, which is kind of sad.
Oh, bummer.
But I was with my wife yesterday, and we were looking around. She's on Facebook. I don't do it, so it's kind of tough when I hear her talking about all her friends from high school or just they go off on the whole gun control talking points. They always just keep up with the same garbage. And
Even in Montana?
Oh, yeah, even in Montana. Well, I mean, here in Missoula, we're definitely, a college town that's gone and gotten all kinds of absorbed by that, liberal BS.
Yeah.
But anyways, they end up going and, I mean, if you could just, how do you keep them from being so cowardly to go and just say, hey, if you want gun control, go get it yourself. Stop trying to get some government to go do it for you.
Well, because they need the government with the guns to go do it for them.
What do you mean, get it yourself? What do you mean by that?
I mean, that's what I'm wondering is there a way we could have people privately, without the government's help, do gun control? Because obviously the mass shootings are a problem.
No, I mean not without implementing essentially a private security state. I mean having some sort of a guard at every single entrance to every.
They probably
building.
do it at Celebration in Disney World. Would be my guess. That's probably
that's the town.
Yeah, that's the town. Well, the town is basically its own country. The way that,
but they don't have checkpoints set up with car searches there.
No, it's just one of those things where they say no guns. I mean, I'm just presuming. Let's say Celebration has a no guns policy. Will that be successful? Well, maybe if they have a guard at the gate, it'll be helpful.
Yeah, but they would only be successful if they were shaking down everybody coming in and out. Otherwise, you've got to trust people to use their own judgment. And as we heard earlier, I mean, there's plenty of people who just straight up ignore those rules.
Oh, yeah, I would.
Right. So they would have to do searches.
I guess I'm talking about, because we don't have an open carry state. Montana's open carry, but there's a lot of these places where they're doing these shootings that aren't open carry.
That's right.
But, I mean, there's got to be something that these people can do that, to help keep themselves safe. But they don't realize that they can't do it with the way the government's telling them to do it, so they just get the government to do it for them.
Well, and even that doesn't work.
I guess
Yeah, I don't have a good solution on how to prevent mass shootings. I really wish I did.
A total security state. I mean, generally you wouldn't be able to stop a motivated shooter in the same way that only the best locks can stop the least motivated, lock picks or whatever, right? Like, if somebody wants to get around the rules, they're going to get around those rules. They're going to do whatever they have to do, even if it's as simple as blowing up the checkpoint, right? Because, so if you put checkpoints everywhere, if you have checkpoints on the roads, if you have checkpoints outside of every business, outside of every place that people go in and out of, you would, of course, have a tremendous disincentive to economic activity because it then takes longer to go everywhere and do everything you want to do. So it would hurt the economy, number one. But it would probably result in, at the very least, very few people getting into buildings or into certain neighborhoods with guns, on their person. However, there's always going to be ways around. There's always going to be bribes that can be paid. There's always going to be violence that can be brought against somebody at a checkpoint directly.
And the checkpoint becomes the target.
Sure. So,
that's the problem. You got to decentralize all the power so that we can make sure that everybody has their own rules and can keep themselves safe.
You
can't have all.
The best solution from the libertarian perspective, of course, is that there should be no controls and people should be able to arm themselves. That way, if somebody does go crazy, at least there's probably somebody with a gun within a near vicinity, and that would be likely to, bring that shooting spree to a halt sooner rather than later.
The Dayton was stopped by I think it was an off-duty police officer.
Is that right?
In the area, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're never going to – this is the problem with even that side of the debate, the pro-gun side, is the claim is always that more guns will stop these shooters, from going in. And I find that to be false, because crazy people are going to be crazy.
That's right.
Whether it's a total police state or a libertarian paradise or anywhere in between, you may stop the shooting sooner. Than.
Yeah.
But when the guy walks into a Walmart with an AK-47, right, and or whatever he had, the Dayton guy had the AK-47. No one's like immediately looking at him. Right, whoever has that gun concealed carried is like looking at a loaf of bread or something 3 aisles down. Right, so you get into the store, you're gonna catch the people immediately walking out, some of the people immediately walking in. There's going to be a high kill count if it at any rate,
no doubt,
regardless of whether or not
a motivated killer is going to be able to get the drop on people, and he's going to be able to succeed to some extent.
And of course, you got to remember too that all these shootings and all these mass shootings make up a partial percentage point of all the gun deaths in America every year. Anyways.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, Red Devil, thanks for calling and sharing your thoughts here tonight. I appreciate it.
I
Man.
appreciate it.
Sounded great, by the way, there on the Discord server over at discord.lrn.fm. You want to sound that great? All you got to do is just jump over to discord.lrn.fm and join one of the top 4 rooms, the on-air call-in lines. This is Free Talk Live.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved Lico Chops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live Sunday edition of the show. You're invited here if you want to join us. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Or better yet, jump into our Discord server like our last caller was doing. Sound almost like you're sitting in the studio with us at discord.lrn.fm.
While you're sitting in the Discord room, you can browse the internet and go to mymagicmud.com. My Magic Mud is a black tooth powder made of charcoalized coconut shells and bentonite clay. Now, that's their sort of flagship product, the first thing they came out with.
Yep.
And I haven't lived without it for more than half a decade since I first found it, which was on their first tour. I met the Jessica Armand, the creator,
the founder,
and founder of My Magic Mud, and I refuse to live without this product. It's so awesome. Not only is it clinically proven to whiten your teeth, and it will get your teeth as white as they're supposed to be within 4 uses. So you brush for 2 minutes. 4 days in a row, and then your teeth are going to be as white as they need to be. If you need to go a few more days, then that's fine. Maybe you got some really, maybe yours were even stained more than mine. But then after that, you use it every 4 to 7 days, and you're going to keep your teeth as white as they should be. You're also going to feel the difference, because I feel the difference every time I brush with My Magic Mud. It makes my teeth cleaner feeling than just sort of regular toothpaste. And I never worry about any of the stuff that's in it. It's all natural ingredients. So you can find it at most major health food stores, Amazon, Sprout, CVS, Natural Grocers, and Walmart's Natural Beauty aisle. But if you go to mymagicmud.com, you can use our coupon code, which is FTL20.
You should use that.
Yeah, I wish you would. Get 20% off. But, I mean, if I understand, if you're wandering through Walmart, you see My Magic Mud, you've heard the commercial, and you're like, oh, I'll try it.
Yep.
Mark said it's a good thing. He said, and I repeat, if you listen to only one thing I ever say here. Look, I understand I'm a radical libertarian, whatever, man. I still have teeth, and I can tell you that this is the best product. MyMagicMud.com. Coupon code FTL20.
All right, we continue here. The New York Times writing and interviewing the founder of 8chan, Frederick Brennan. He says that any time a shooting happens, he always checks 8chan to see if there's a connection. And in the case with the El Paso shooting, a 4-page message whose author identified himself as the suspected shooter appeared on 8chan. And the person who posted the message encouraged his, quote, brothers on the site to spread the contents far and wide. In recent months, 8chan, says the New York Times, has become a go-to resource for violent extremists. At least 3 mass shootings this year, including the mosque killings in Christchurch, New Zealand, and the synagogue shooting in Poway, California, have been announced in advance on the site, often accompanied by racist writings that seem engineered to go viral on the internet.
Would you be laughed out of that chat room if you were there and just tried to talk one of these guys down ahead of time? Like if they're planning this stuff ahead of time, like he's the founder of the site, and he checks after the fact to see if it has a connection.
Mm-hmm.
But what if he was like on the site regularly, if he visits that site, and just sees some of these, violent people talking, and just counteract that speech with, peace speech?
Good
instead.
question. I've never actually gone to look at the site to see what it says, so that would be a question maybe somebody could answer who spends some time there as to does the do these attackers or these would-be attackers, is it all just rah-rah cheering squad, or are there people who try to talk sense to them or try to talk them down I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
and
a good
what becomes
question.
of those people if they do? Like I said, do they get laughed out of there? And
I don't know.
Ridiculed till they go like, oh, it's not worth it.
The toll-free number, if you spend time on 8chan, you can answer that question. It's 855-450 free.
If I started a website, I would be able to shut it down.
That's correct.
That 8chan
Not if you handed it off though to somebody else.
must not be a website though.
It's a website.
It's a website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what happens when you go to http://whatever. You're going to a website.
I understand.
8chan is a website.
But it could be just
what did you think it was?
Well, it could be just a channel on a series of anonymous web boards that where you're like, oh well, I have channel.
Anonymous web boards are websites.
Right.
There's a
Did
there's a
he
computer
create the
somewhere.
whole website of all the boards?
Well, he likely used whatever this anonymous message board software is. They all look very similar, these sites, so I suspect he didn't program it from scratch, but he's the person who launched the site. He, bought whatever hosting package he bought, and he put the software on that hosting package and put it out there. I mean, that's if you're asking whether he hand wrote the code for the site,
I'm not
I don't
asking
know.
that. I'm asking. So you did your little snide thing where you're like, well, what did you think it was?
I wanted to know. It's not, honestly,
I'm trying to
what did
tell
you,
you what I thought it was. If I start a Facebook page, you a-hole, I may be the founder of the page, but I can't I can't really do anything with it.
That's not
it's
your
Facebook's.
website. That's right.
Right.
It's a website, but not your website.
Right.
And the site is different from the domain name. So
I don't know really why can't this guy just shut down his own website that he wants to shut down?
He probably sold it.
Then whatever.
It's not his anymore.
Well, then it's hard to even care about this guy.
Well, he's the founder of the site, and he's saying, shut down the thing that I made. That's the same thing as the other...
I created a monster.
Well, right. The Facebook co-founder, I forget his name, but he came out against Facebook within recent weeks. A few months ago, there was a New York Times article with one of the Facebook co-founders saying, break up Facebook. It's not what he wanted it to be. It became bigger than he expected it to be, or whatever his reasons were for it.
Okay.
Going on here. It says here that 8chan is now known as a Brennan started the online message board as a free speech utopia, but now 8chan is known as something else, a megaphone for mass shooters and a recruiting platform for violent white nationalists. And it has become a focal point for those seeking to disrupt the pathways of online extremism. On Sunday, critics characterized the site as a breeding ground for violence, and some lobbied the site's service providers to get it taken down. And Mr. Brennan, who stopped working with the site's current owner last year, called for it to be taken offline before it leads to further violence. Brennan said, quote, "Shut the site down. It's not doing anyone in the world, or it's not doing the world any good. It's a complete negative to everybody except the users that are there. And you know what? It's a negative to them too. They just don't realize it." Unquote.
Well, that whole free speech utopia thing always ends up being hate speech, because hate speech is the only speech that's unacceptable everywhere else. So if you create a free speech utopia,
that's where they'll go.
That's where they go, because it's the only place that will allow them to be.
He says it's not, or Brennan, who has claimed he got the idea for 8chan while on psychedelic mushrooms, set out to create what he called a free speech alternative to 4chan, the better-known online message board. He was upset that 4chan had become too restrictive and envisioned a site where any legal speech would be welcome, no matter how toxic. The site remained on the fringes until 2014, when some supporters of Gamergate, a loose reactionary collection of anti-feminist video gamers, flocked to 8chan after being kicked off of 4chan. Since Gamergate, 8chan has become a catch-all website for internet-based communities whose behavior gets them evicted from more mainstream sites. It hosts one of the largest gatherings of the supporters of QAnon, who claim that there is an international bureaucracy plotting against the Trump administration. And it has been an online home for the incels, men who lament being, quote, involuntarily celibate, unquote, and other fringe movements. Jonathan Greenblatt, the chief executive of the Anti-Defamation League, says 8chan is almost like a bulletin board where the worst offenders go to share their terrible ideas. It's become a sounding board where people share ideas and where these kinds of ideologies are amplified and expanded on, and ultimately people are radicalized as a result. Should we put a clamp down on this freedom of speech stuff? It's dangerous. 855-450-FREE. If you want to weigh in, you're welcome to join us here. Toll-free number 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves here. This is the live Sunday edition of Free Talk Live.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you're helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. It's the live Sunday edition of the program. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Want to welcome a brand new sponsor to the show. It's Go Dark Bags. GoDarkBags.com/FTL is where you can go to learn about their product, which actually allows your phone to stop tracking you. Because when you put your phone into airplane mode, and I didn't know this. I didn't believe it when I was shocked when I first saw this. I had to go and do some research on this claim because I don't want to say something that I'm not sure
you will
is
not
true.
Say something good.
But apparently, if you put your phone into airplane mode, it will still track your location. and then report those locations once you go out of airplane mode. And there have been tests that have proven this is the case. So if you would prefer to not be tracked at a certain time, you could just pop your phone into a Go Dark bag.
Just in time for DEF CON.
GoDarkBags.com/FTL. DEF CON, by the way, is the hacker conference out in, I think it's Vegas.
I believe so.
And yeah, if you bring a phone to DEF CON, there's a good chance you're going to get hacked. Didn't you say they have like a wall of shame?
Yeah, it's a wall of shame.
Where they'll put like information about the phones that they've hacked or whatever, and then you'll go up there and you probably don't even know it, but then you see your own phone info there because you got hacked. So if it's in a Faraday cage or a Faraday bag like they sell over at GoDarkBags.com, then there's absolutely no way that your phone can be hacked or tracked because, well, Faraday bags prevent radio signals from entering and leaving. So check them out at GoDarkBags.com/FTL, like Free Talk Live. So we go back to your calls and thoughts. The proposal here from some people who are afraid of freedom of speech, they're saying 8chan needs to be shut down because it is attracting what Jonathan Greenblatt of the Anti-Defamation League describes as the worst offenders, attracting them all to go there together to share their terrible ideas, and where he claims that their ideologies are amplified and expanded on, and ultimately people are radicalized as a result. Is that what free speech is leading to? Radicalization and violence. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. Let's go to Matthew. He's in Louisiana watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, Matthew.
So first, let me congratulate Mark on his tooth superiority.
Am I what?
Tooth superiority?
Yes.
I really think that this may not be the best idea for combating radicalism. One thing is they're all gathering in one place as a public place to loudly proclaim in virtue, or in this case, we can call it unvirtue signal.
Vice signal.
To each other.
Vice signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Can we just have somebody, an authority, just kind of like look at them while this is going on?
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
Some forensic
I'm not
investigation.
saying that we necessarily can talk them out of their beliefs, but somebody could try. But I'm not tech literate.
That's the most effective thing I've seen up to this point. When it comes to people with really, really bad ideas, the best thing you can do is approach them with love and respect and talk to them about why it is that you believe what you believe. And I've seen it work over and over again. I'm not claiming it's rewarding work. I would say quite the opposite.
Yeah, pretty exhausting.
Spending your time with idiots is a very difficult
Well, many
task.
of these people aren't idiots. They're very intelligent, but they're just wrong, and they've been led down the wrong path in life, and they are, they're hanging out with the wrong crowd. And I agree with Mark that if people are able to access this place, this 8chan, and it is a public message board at this time, if they're able to easily access it, that means more people who care could go there and try to talk these lunatics out of their next killing spree. It also means that law enforcement can more easily monitor what's going on that site as well. And look, I'm not a huge supporter of a lot of what law enforcement does, but if they're actually investigating psychos who are trying to kill somebody or planning to kill somebody, I don't oppose them doing that. I'd rather have them doing that than arresting kids for smoking pot. I'm sorry, what?
You can hardly blame them for doing that. At least at that point, they're actually trying to fulfill part of their mission.
Yeah.
Which
I think that's part of the mission that people would get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, if I were in law enforcement, if I were involved with whether it's federal or whatever level, I'd want to buy the site and run the site. That way you could then, at the very least, easily get IP addresses of the people who are connecting to it, because it's called an anonymous message board, but that's because the default posting name is anonymous. That doesn't mean that everybody who connects is using a VPN or smart enough to, to hide their location.
And you don't have to put your information into the site.
Correct. Yeah, you don't sign up for an account. Sorry?
Even if you're using a VPN, a patient enough tech guy can break the VPN and get the ISDN number. It just takes a little time because they're not switching devices every time they post.
Did you say get the ISDN number?
ISDN number. Every digital device has this number.
You're talking about you're not talking about an ISDN. I don't think
the MAC address.
You're thinking of the MAC address.
Right.
Yeah. Well, those can be spoofed as well. But again, if you run the website, you have access to a much wider range of information at your fingertips, and you get to spend as much time as you want researching the various IP addresses that connect and that sort of thing. So that would be the smartest thing for them to do rather than shut this thing down.
I don't want to advocate they do that either, though. Like, I don't want law enforcement taking over private websites and private domains.
Yeah,
I don't
can
either, but it
understand
wouldn't
the way
be
you feel about that,
illegitimate
too,
of them to
because
do
I
it.
sort of feel the same way.
Like, it wouldn't be illegal for them to do that. If law enforcement wants to go and make the guy that currently runs the site an offer and buy the site from him, I mean, that's not illegal for them to do that.
He may want to sell, because from what I understand, there's a guy in the Philippines who's repeatedly getting his house broken into by Vox Media. So
By who?
If I don't have the site anymore, you're going to stop doing this?
There's a media company that's breaking into his house?
Yeah, Vox.
V-O-X.
I don't know who that is. It sounds kind of familiar, but
Yeah, Vox, we've read their stories in the air before. Sure.
why would they be breaking into his home?
That's a good question.
I don't
To
know,
get
but
the
they
scoop.
hire a lot of stringers who have some, shall we say, methods that if the New York Times engaged in, they would be fired and turned over
I
the
see.
top.
Gotcha. Matthew, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's talk to Dan in Nebraska, watching also on YouTube. Go ahead, Dan.
Ian, Mark, good to talk to you guys.
We also have Richie.
Other guy.
Yep.
The other guy.
Other guy.
Hello,
Richie.
other guy.
Sup, buddy?
And, yeah, I love the snake bites. I'm 7 times pierced myself. But I wanted to call in because I actually am somebody who used to use 8chan quite a bit.
Really?
De-radicalized ex-8chan. Now I'm actually somebody who's gone completely the other way, and I'm totally supportive of like the deplatforming movement, but
Really?
I don't agree with it at the level of the government shutting down sites. I think deplatforming is good, though.
Do you think that the 8chan web host should shut down the account of whoever it is, this Watkins guy who's running it?
The web host? Ooh, that's a good question.
Unless
man.
the dude is
think
actually
that's-
hosting the site out of his living room, he probably has a company somewhere that he's paying to provide him with web hosting a server, right? Like that he's the administrator of.
Yes, in that case, that would be a good idea. Just like how the guy who owned the Daily Stormer, Andrew Anglin, he got his site cut off by his provider or whatever, the web host. Yeah, I guess
Has that stopped the white supremacy movement to have that site
Has it
shut
put a
down?
dent in it?
It does put a dent in it. Honestly, the thing is you think that if you cut off the head, they'll just grow another one. But the reality is that with a lot of these cases, it's actually pretty damaging for you to basically disconnect and disperse the group, because a lot of those people will either lose connection or fade away, and it's totally an empty threat that they will get stronger after that. You will definitely substantially and tangibly hurt.
Why? I mean, why do you
the
think
growth
that's
of
the
white
case?
nationalism
I mean,
by
these
doing
guys are not stupid people. They have the ability to set up websites. It's trivial to put another one of these message boards online. I mean, as long as your server's got enough processing power and enough bandwidth, you'll be able to put up an equivalent. I want to know why you think that this would, just deter them. Hang on, Dan.
It becomes frustrating over time.
We'll bring you back. I mean, is it that frustrating to have to, instead of type 8chan, put in a URL into a Tor browser? I mean, that's not that many more steps. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We'll continue with Dan, who says he's a former 8channer, now reformed, now turned against the site. More coming up.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally caught up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, then bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. That's 800-590-4930.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-301-5435. That's 800-301-5435. 800-301-5435.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can dial toll-free to join us here. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're open and available to you on our Discord server at discord.lrn.fm. With you tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Mark.
We're going back to your calls here, but the topic on the table, of course, you can change it if you want. The topic on the table is 8chan, a website that is being described by people who hate it as a destination for basically all of the dregs of the internet, the communities of offensive, outrageous, potentially violent people who have been excised from various different communities from around the web. They have found a home in 8chan because apparently the site is virtually unmoderated, and we can tell you more about what some people are saying ought to happen. Some people want to see the site shut down. And even the former owner, the founder of the site, who's no longer in charge, he must have sold it or given it away at some point, and they say it was 2015 when he gave up control of the site, that he's saying shut it down. Dan in Nebraska is saying shut it down. He is a former 8chan user. And Dan, if I recall your calls from the past, at one point you, I believe, described yourself as an incel, as a involuntarily celibate, but then I think you ended up getting a girlfriend. Is that right?
That's right. So I haven't been an incel for a good while now, putting that behind me. Thank God. And
Congratulations.
So now that you're no longer an incel, you've turned against your former compatriots, and you're demanding their online hangout be shut
Those
down.
stupid virgins.
Well, okay. See, the thing is there are like on 8chan a bunch of different boards and topics. So I bet the boards I was on in the first, I don't think I was on the incel board on 8chan in particular too much. The one that I actually used the most was called lolcow, which is basically just for laughing at people who make
just for the
stooges of
lulz
themselves on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're milking them for the lulz.
Okay. But you were saying earlier that you think that shutting down 8chan would cause some amount of damage to this movement, that you believe that making it so they have to find a new website to gather on, and presumably many of them communicate off of the site, like in chat rooms and Discord servers and IRC and things like that. But you're saying you still believe that it would be some level of an impediment if they had to, let's say, download a Tor browser and connect to a darknet site.
Well, I would even say that at a different level, it's a lot simpler than that. I think that for 9 out of 10 8chan users, maybe even 19 out of 20, they're people who are not really even that tech literate. They're people who start on Reddit, but then kind of become too radical for Reddit, move to 4chan, become too radical for 4chan, and then move to 8chan. And I think that if you were to cut the road, it would just leave them with less places to move forward. People who go to 8chan aren't they're probably neckbeards, but they're not that tech savvy. I think a lot of people would just end up not finding it at all, or not finding any websites more radical than 4chan. If you were just if you were to cut the highway off, if you think of 8chan as a small town, there's going to be a lot less people finding it if you just break the highway that leads to it.
Well, didn't we already decide that 8chan was created because people needed a place to go when they got off of 4chan? Like, it manifested because people were too radical for the platform they were on and needed a place to go.
Right, and I think that's the thing is, sure, there will be other ones that come up, but they'll always be weaker and they'll always be slower to grow. Like, the idea of this as like anti-fascist praxis is that you're attacking at the margins. At the end of the day, you are stopping people from, at least new people, from discovering this potent form of alt-right ideology so soon.
But isn't there a benefit to having it out in the open? Isn't there a benefit to being able to easily monitor what these people are saying?
I mean, I think that's a fair point, but I also think that most of these websites already have some, like the people who are doing the kind of moderation are already more savvy than the people who wouldn't find their way to 8chan in the first place. Like, the people who will find the next platform, the cops will find them too. The FBI will find them too. The people I'm thinking about who are at the margins are not going to.
So it's not that I disagree with. I don't necessarily disagree with anything you've said here. You have not advocated for stifling free speech. All you've said is that if people wish to deplatform people off of their particular platform, just as you can't speak on my website, then you advocate for it, and that's what we do on Free Talk Live.
He's advocating shutting down 8chan.
He is. He's advocating for the person who's that has the server to shut down 8chan.
Are you saying that you think the current owner will voluntarily shut down 8chan, or do you want to see the server operator who he's hiring to run the server shut down 8chan, so then he's got to do is move 8chan to a different server?
Right, that's what he would do. That's fine. Either one of those is libertarian, right?
But neither of them is going to if you don't. Okay, the only way you're going to get 8chan to shut down is if you get the owner of it to say, I'm never going to run this site again. If the person who is operating the server farm that he's renting says, we no longer want to rent you space, he'll just go pop it up somewhere else.
He could do that. Look, I mean, you're not running 8chan. You have every opportunity to open up a Discord chat where people can say all kinds of vile things.
We have that. It's called the Toxic User Room on our Discord server.
At the very least,
we have one lunatic in there that threatens your family on a regular basis.
That much is true. But
I think it's better to have him there than not know what he's saying.
I would concur with you on that. We control speech in a manner on our chat platforms. So let me ask you this. There's a guy that we've met named Ford Fisher, and he is a
talented videographer.
Yeah,
editor.
talented videographer, and what he does is he runs around finding conflicts, basically, you know, the anti-fascists and the fascists, where he thinks they're going to be going at it. He, scours the internet, and he's a newsman.
He shows up with a camera and just lets it record.
He stays unbiased so that both sides, presumably, really it's only the fascists that are willing to talk to him. The anti-fascists are a bunch of a-holes. But whatever. He tries to stay as unbiased as possible without giving, without portraying anybody as the hero or the villain or anything like that. Just a videographer. Do you think that he is in some way perpetuating the fascist agenda?
I think that I don't want to say that he's perpetuating the agenda, but what I will say is he is certainly helping in his own way to sanitize and midwife the movement into a more mainstream one.
I don't think he's sanitizing anything by showing what happens. I don't think by showing people what happens at these conflicts is he sanitizing. He's showing.
You're just scared of speech,
no,
is what your problem is. No, he's not. What he's doing is he's letting these people speak. And if you think the things that bigots say is dangerous, then you're scared of bigots. I'm not scared of what they say. What they say to me is vile.
Well, okay, not sanitize then. How about desensitize?
I'm just saying, I want to hear the bigots say the bigot things that I know who they are.
I don't think exposure necessarily desensitizes. I think that exposure helps people at least better grasp what these people are saying. I think that, and I've gotten the same, criticism for putting Christopher Cantwell on Freer Talk Live, which has been our after show that we've done, mostly weekly, every other week, regularly here on Free Talk Live, or on our after show, which appears only on the internet. And people have gotten all uppity about that. One of the videos
people who don't listen
got taken down from YouTube within weeks of it being posted. And I thought that it was an excellent expose of what this guy believes. And what he believes is total statism. And he had never really had the chance to express himself in any other venue with the exception of his own show, where he's not challenged by anybody. Here we had, who was then known as Rich Paul, now known as Nobody, take him on in what was an epic debate between him and Cantwell called Hippie versus Nazi. The video is still available through the library platform, and I think that's a good thing that video is available. Dan, would you say it's a bad thing to have given Chris Cantwell that airtime?
So I'm going to have to look at this on a case-by-case basis and say that since Christopher Cantwell had already been a host, and because Christopher Cantwell is already an alt-right celebrity, that the damage of his exposure and sanitation has largely been done. But to go up to ordinary, unknown alt-rightists and just simply interview them and give them a chance to have their say as if they are the point of I guess my ideology is that these are people who deserve to be ostracized.
Fair enough, Dan. Thanks for your call tonight. Appreciate hearing from you. And there are plenty of people who believe
I can't believe
fully in
he's
ostracism.
calling up to a show called Free Talk Live and saying people shouldn't be able to talk freely. I mean, we literally have people. Anybody can call in and talk about what they want.
That's not really what he's saying.
Well, he's saying ostracize and shut them off. He's saying don't give them a platform. There's more coming up here in moments. We can continue. We'll take your calls and thoughts about what's on your mind in Hour 3 next. Free Talk Live.
Ever wanted to hook up with an attractive woman, but you couldn't because you were already in a monogamous relationship? Ever wanted to work when you wanted to work instead of having to report to an office when you would rather have done something else? There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,439, silver at $16.31, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,388. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, physicians from 2 top universities are calling on Congress to promptly investigate the deaths of 6 migrant children in the government's custody, warning that the widely reported poor conditions in detention centers could be putting thousands of children at risk for infectious diseases. The Mind Unleashed reports that 3 of the 6 children who died while in U.S. custody since last September died partially because they had contracted influenza. 2 died after spending twice the amount of time in a Border Patrol station than the Department of Homeland Security typically allows. About 2,000 migrant children are in U.S. custody on any given day, many after a grueling journey from Central America and elsewhere. The children are in Border Patrol stations, where many have been kept for far longer than the facilities are equipped to house people. Detention centers run by ICE and the Health and Human Services Department, and facilities run by for-profit government contractors like CoreCivic. The doctors urge lawmakers to probe how the widely reported unsanitary conditions in the centers contributed to the deaths that have been recorded. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report from Georgetown Law's Center on Privacy and Technology suggests that Immigration and Customs Enforcement may be using illegal immigration as a type of cover to track and spy on Americans in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. Activist Post reports that 3 years ago, the center revealed that nearly half of all U.S. adults are already in the FBI's facial recognition database, which is largely sourced from DMV photos. ICE has apparently requested special access to Department of Motor Vehicles databases in at least 3 states, Utah, Washington State, and Vermont, which the federal agency plans to use in conjunction with facial recognition technology to scan people's driver's license photos and match them against criminal and residency databases, all without their knowledge or consent. The documents uncovered this week are the first confirmation that states have granted ICE specifically, not just the FBI, access to those databases. The CIA has released a batch of documents detailing how their Office of Public Affairs staff met with film director Michael Bay and successfully leaned on him to make changes to the script to his film 13 Hours. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 2016 action thriller is the only major movie Hollywood has produced about the attacks on the United States Special Mission in Benghazi and the nearby CIA annex. It grossed less than $70 million against a $50 million budget and is the least commercially successful film Bay has ever produced. While audiences rated 13 Hours more highly than critics, the film's attempt to capitalize on the politics of the Benghazi attacks largely failed. The documents released under the Freedom of Information Act reveal that Bay first approached the CIA in March 2015, weeks before production started. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Scary day in Virginia after a mass shooting at the offices of Slash Forward Marketing. Management described the violent scene as incredibly inopportune if the company wants to hit its sales goals.
Gunshots were first heard around 9:40 a.m. VP of Sales Ken Miller placed the first 911 call.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? Someone is shooting everyone at our office. Can you guys do something about this? We really can't afford to lose focus right now. The alleged shooter, Brian Henderson, a Slash Forward employee, was described by Miller as a so-so salesman and a, quote, candy ass who obviously couldn't howl with the big dogs. Slash Forward management said the company is rattled to the core by this poorly timed shooting.
It was horrible, really. But hashtag pray for Slash Forward is trending, and we are getting tons of media exposure, so I think we're going to survive.
Donations for the families of victims are pouring into the company website, as are applications for the 18 job openings listed immediately after the shooting.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and we're launching into the third hour of the program. Should 8chan be shut down? And should it be done on a voluntary basis? Would that be somehow a useful thing? Our last caller says, he is a former 8chan user, he believes the site should be shut down, and that he believes that that would allow or prevent, rather, many of its users who he claims are not particularly technically adept from being able to find the next resource.
That may be true. I don't know the answer to that. What I would say is that every time you employ force, whether that force is government force or whether it's sort of social force, getting enough people to somehow contact the server or the whatever it is that they do, that there are always unintended consequences. So sure, maybe you cut off half of these people that are on 8chan, whatever. Maybe you further militarize the other half, who then go on to
send them underground into a more secret location where they have to, do something to get into that server.
All I know is that the guy claims some kind of confederacy with anti-fascists, which, and then he started talking about limiting speech. And that's what these people do. The anti-fascists are about limiting speech.
But he claims that he wants to do it voluntarily.
Fine, I don't care.
That's a whole, and what we talked about during the break is that is a whole different ideal and a whole different idea.
Yeah, and I would agree that you can do it voluntarily in the sense that you don't use government force to do it and still be sort of libertarian. But Free Talk Live is two things. We're both libertarian and we're a platform for free speech to some extent.
As much as we can afford. I mean, we can't allow somebody to get on the air and say certain words, otherwise we'll lose our radio stations.
And I won't sit here and listen to just blithering idiots, just spout racist nonsense either.
So the point that I wanted to get out is that the idea of deplatforming and social ostracization is fully compatible with libertarian principles.
It is. There's a lot of really crappy behavior that is fully compatible with libertarian principles. Yeah. You can be a libertarian and also be a racist. Yeah. Those are also compatible things. So it's despicable.
YouTube, the way it deplatforms, it doesn't even tell people what they did. So you can deplatform somebody off of your platform in a completely unfair manner.
Where it won't be a learning experience for them at all, right? They won't know why.
And then you have the only site on the internet where people can make money by producing content, basically. Like, there's no other video site out there where you can really pull that off from the standpoint of...
Well, Twitch, you can get paid there, but they're going to restrict you too.
Okay, so Twitch is another one. That's a live platform as opposed to recorded, but I mean, it has some aspects that are similar.
So it's an effective method.
Right. Well, they basically set themselves up as a utility and then begin to limit it. First, we do freedom, and when that makes us the most popular platform on the internet, then we begin to clamp down.
Got it.
That's disingenuous.
True.
And it doesn't make me like YouTube very much, but I do find that it's if I'm going to sit at home watching TV, I do one of two things. I go on Amazon Prime where I pay, or I go on YouTube to watch, a series of videos. And there's not another app out there that I can easily watch content that I want to watch, produced. So
I know you guys are hot and heavy on this one. I know you guys are hot and heavy here, but I want to get some of our callers on the line here.
Yes,
Michael's been waiting patiently in Virginia Beach, listening to WNIS. Go ahead, or excuse me, Miguel. Miguel, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi.
Hey, you're on the air.
I was just sort of adding on to that previous guy's statements about how it's not resilient enough when it's taken down. These people will disperse.
You're agreeing that the users would disperse. Why do you say that?
Okay. I'm sorry. I was I guess sort of as a rebuttal to that.
Okay, what's the rebuttal?
You got to spit it out, man.
You all right, Miguel?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the first time doing this.
Yeah,
there's only three of us in here, and you're the only one talking.
The best thing to do in these circumstances, first off, is have a little water next to you, so if you get that dry mouth thing, you can just take a little swig. Second thing
have
is
some notes.
Yeah, just to have written down a few things and maybe the line of thinking you had and that sort of stuff.
Do you want us to put you on hold and come back to you, give you a chance to collect your thoughts? Because I do want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, sure.
All right, stand by. Make a couple notes, come back to it. Hey, look, we get it, man. I still get an adrenaline rush when I call talk radio.
Yeah, if I call other people's shows. I'm on 200 radio stations throughout the week. However, if I call the local unrated station here in Keene, New Hampshire, I'm going to get a little flustered. I follow these rules because I know they work.
Let's talk to Cosmo in North Carolina, watching us on YouTube. Cosmo, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, good morning. My name is Cosmo. I am white. I am socialist. I hate blacks. I hate Jews. I hate Muslims. Hitler was absolutely correct.
That's really great. Thanks for the call. We're going to continue here. I'm not going to dump him because he didn't say anything that we can't really,
So you support his speech then? Is that what we're saying now? You agree with everything he just said?
I allowed his speech. That's the difference.
I think a guy talking in a silly accent saying he's a socialist and that he hates Jews is just, he's taking care of all the problems. I need say no more.
And this is where I come from on all this shutdown, deplatform stuff. Is I support your right to do what you want with your own private property, and we've got some rules on our private property on these, this show, the airwaves, the Discord server. We've tried to set things up to be as permissive as we possibly can. We used to ban people for racism on the Discord. Now we just toss them in the toxic user zone so they can still have whatever terrible opinions they have. They're just not having them in the main server channels where people want to hang out and have actual productive conversations.
If you kick them out, they just come back with a new username.
Yeah, that's true. But beyond that, we've been criticized, as Mark referred to. I don't know if it was on air or off because you guys continued to have a conversation during the news break. But
it's a shame when Richie's wrong.
Well, he's not wrong. His assessment is correct, Mark. It isn't unlibertarian to say let's ostracize these people. It's just not nice.
I'm not even agreeing with the caller.
I know you're not. You're just saying it's not. You're making the point that the caller can still be a libertarian and hold the position that he's holding.
Yeah.
And that's true. Libertarianism is at its minimum, and all it is just a bare minimum for human social interaction. The bare minimum says, don't hurt that guy.
Yeah.
That's libertarianism. Don't use aggressive force against peaceful people. That's what libertarianism basically is. Some would also say don't use fraud, but it's another conversation. But I think everybody who's libertarian would agree with don't use force. But how you interact with people beyond that is not prescribed by libertarianism. It's not a full-scale belief system.
It's a baseline for morality.
Right. About how to interact with society most efficiently, how to interact with other human beings most efficiently, and most compassionately. And to me, the whole ostracism thing, while it's embraced by a lot of people within libertarianism, and I'm not saying they're wrong for it, I think people should be if you want to be a choosy person about who you associate with, it's your life, do whatever you want to do.
That's the baseline for voluntarism, is who you interact with on a voluntary basis.
Sure. Some people take it so far as to say that if you, Mark, interact with this Christopher Cantwell character over here, I will ostracize you. So even though I disagree with Chris Cantwell, and I might agree with you on a lot of things, because you have been associated with him, because you are treating him as a human being, even though he's wrong and despicable, you're treating him as a human being, I will ostracize you, Mark. And this is what we get all the time from libertarians.
And I would say perfectly consistent under libertarian principles and stupid anyway.
Right. And most of the people that do it didn't listen to whatever media we produced.
No.
They didn't actually talk to us about that sort of thing ahead of time. They just said, I have disagreed with Mark for long enough, and now I have a good reason to not chit-chat with him anymore, which is, as far as I'm concerned, don't let the screen door hit you with a good Lord split you.
All right, so we continue. I tend to come at things from a position of compassion and forgiveness rather than this ostracism.
And I think
program.
that's wonderful what you do when you do speak to Cantwell, because I know you talk to him in real life, and you do treat him like a human being because you're trying to convince him that he has lost his way. And I know you're doing that. I wouldn't be able to spend that kind of time. But you can. You're interested in doing it.
And it has cost me many other relationships because of it. But one thing I can't stand is when somebody says, well, you're either with me or the highway. It's like, well, see ya. Have a nice time. More coming up here in moments. 855 450 free. We'll get back to your calls and thoughts here on banning or shutting down 8chan. What do you think? Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. The conversation continues. You know, even though we're on the air 7 days a week, we're not on 24/7. We're on 3 hours a day. But we have a Discord server that is there 24 hours a day. And right now, one of our earlier callers, Dan from Nebraska, is in there having it out with some of the other chatters in our On Air Now forum or in the room. You can go and log in over at discord.lrn.fm. You know, it does take a little hoop jumping to get into the server. Discord servers aren't easy to get into. You have to download an app. You then have to create a username and password for the app. And then you have to click on, in your browser, you type in discord.lrn.fm. So there's like a 3-step process in order to get in. But once you're in, it's super easy to stay in.
Got to get the invite code.
And well, that's what the discord.lrn.fm. It's the easy way to get the invite code. All right, so we continue with your calls and your thoughts. Let's go back to the phones, to the phone. Cody is in Kentucky. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Cody.
Hey, guys. First-time caller. Thank you for what you're doing.
Welcome back. Welcome. Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for what you guys are doing. Hey, a little bit of free speech is about this civil life is a little bit of torture. You know, I experienced the police state coming back from Canada. I'm an oil and gas executive. I was driving from Toronto back to the States. I'm a natural-born white guy from the United States, and they searched my vehicle. Nothing, never been any illegal business, not carrying any contraband or anything. But then they took me in, and about an hour later demanded all the passwords to my phones and computers.
Oh, boy.
And which I refused to give them under Fourth Amendment grounds.
What did they do? Did they confiscate the devices?
In the end, they did, because I refused to give them that password. See, I was a little bit ahead of the game, because I'd read an article on The Intercept a couple months ago about the journalist coming back from Mexico into the Austin airport, and they were doing the same thing to him, but not being politically active, but not being a journalist.
So you knew about the device searches. Does that mean that you were prepared, meaning that you didn't really lose much more than the device itself, that you had backups of all the important information on that on your laptop and phone?
Well, I wasn't as prepared as I could be, because I didn't think that it would be a target coming back, between two first world countries. I never imagined between, Canada and the United States.
I'm stunned.
I'm starting to think the government is just trying to get as much data dumps on people.
Absolutely,
as they can.
they've been dramatically increasing the number of people who they're targeting for this searching. It doesn't matter where you're coming back from.
Well, it hasn't been discussed in a while, but 100 miles from the border is the Constitution-free zone.
That's
surrounding the entire United States.
But it's at the border where they have the ability to confiscate your devices. If you are stopped at an internal checkpoint, they are not supposed to be confiscating devices there. So it's only at the border. or
The
international
Supreme Court has ruled
airports.
laws antithetical to the Constitution, laws antithetical to the Constitution are null and void.
Yeah,
So I
sure. A
don't
lot
know
of good that
about
does to get your laptop back.
Well, 2 iPhones, actually. That's what they're concerned about because they know they're all encrypted really well, so we'll see if they crack them.
Right, but yeah, what I'm saying is you can't just get out your Constitution and wave it in their face and have them, oh, shoot, man, he knows his rights. All right, well, give him his iPhones back. No, they're going to keep those forever until you file some sort of lawsuit against them by hiring an attorney, which, of course, will cost you more than the cost of one iPhone in order to do that. So it's a total waste of money to try to actually get these things back. Luckily, the Electronic Frontier Foundation does have a class action lawsuit that they're underway with as we speak. If you haven't reached out to them, I mean, they probably don't need any more plaintiffs in that suit, but it wouldn't hurt for you to just kind of give them a heads up and let them know this is what happened to me.
If you truly are squeaky clean, unlike my business partner here who runs basically a hardcore libertarian radio show, if you're like a squeaky clean oil exec, you might be their Rosa Parks. So it's probably worth giving them a call.
Reach out to those guys.
Well,
Cody, was there? Go ahead.
Well, it's just sad, the police state. I told the guys at the end, I said, I hope you guys are proud of what you're doing. Violate the Constitution like, oh, we are, they're so brainwashed, hoping they're going to have their big cushy government pensions. And as broke as this country is, they'll be lucky if the dollar is not devalued in the next 5 years, like a lot of people are predicting. And it's just a sad state of affairs. I honestly wonder, they may have me targeted because they know I support gun groups and go to different protests every once in a while.
They may.
And I'm wondering, if they're not trying to push some white guys over the edge. This was Thursday night, and then all of a sudden, within a day, we have these shootings. So there's something, something.
Hold on, just to be clear, you got stopped on Thursday night. Yours was recent, very recent?
Yeah, Thursday night at about 8:30 and held to just after 2 a.m.
Wow, that's a long detention. I would reach out to the EFF on that. Since it's fresh in your mind and it's a fresh incident, jot down an email to the EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation. I think it's EFF.org is their website. They've got an email that you can contact their attorneys.
Excellent.
And just, run them through, do a rundown of what happened, give them a quick briefing, and ask if there's anything you can do to help them with their lawsuit or if that you would be of any use. And Cody, thanks for the call. I really appreciate hearing from you tonight. The toll-free number here is 855-450. Free. And there may be somebody out there saying, well, of course our Border Patrol needs to be able to look through devices. There's terrorists out there. You guys are in favor of terrorism.
The other concern is after they take your device and they take it out of your site, what are they putting onto it before they hand it back?
I have no idea. That's a great question.
Even if you fight to get it back, you probably don't want to be carrying that device anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The country was set up by terrorists. Look, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is a revolution that occurred in this country, and the people that happened to win by a hair the American Civil War were terrorists by English standards.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason they decided to do it, they included the Bill of Rights, and that Bill of Rights says that you should be free of unreasonable searches and seizures. Now, the government has determined that at the border is a reasonable time to search and seize your crap. But the founders didn't. There's nothing in the Bill of Rights that says, except at the border. It just says that you should be free of it. And
it's rights for everybody. It's rights not just for American citizens. It's rights for human beings, the people.
That agreed. That is that's 100% true. What they determine is reasonable in confiscating equipment is, well, I think you do need a higher level of intrusiveness at the border. That just makes a certain amount of sense. But that doesn't mean they have the right to take your crap.
Agree.
Huh, you don't.
I don't think we need Border Patrol at all. I think that the libertarian position here is to abolish all of those agencies.
If the United States government is going to continue to send its troops around the world, murdering people's families and children, you're going to have lashback.
They need to stop that.
Stop doing that too.
Yeah, they need to stop that.
Here. Right. They haven't done that yet either.
No, and there's no politician who's proposing that because, they will lose votes. if they say things like that.
Tulsi Gabbard has been talking something like that, and they put out a hit piece on her every opportunity they get.
Wow. All right, so we'll continue. We have time for you if you're on the line with us. Our toll-free number 855-450-FREE, which, by the way, those lines are loaded up right now. So if you get a busy signal, you can call on our Discord server where the lines there are wide open. Just go to discord.lrn.fm, and then you'll even sound better as well. If you sound better, we're more likely to want to talk to you for longer because, well, it's easier to understand you.
Yeah, that's true.
There's more coming up here. 855-450-3733 or discord.lrn.fm. This is the live Sunday edition of Free Talk Live.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? One? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is, the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com, and it's a place you can send any business, and they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. GoDark bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit GoDarkbags.com/FTL. That's GoDarkbags.com/FTL.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Mere days before his upcoming relocation to Denver, Colorado, 4-year Chicago resident Paul Marsden admitted today that he wished he had taken a little more time to truly loathe the city he has lived in for nearly half a decade.
You know, I've been here for a couple years, but now that I'm finally leaving, I realize I never really got to hate this place.
Marsden confirmed that in the time he's lived in the city, he never quite managed to explore his own shitty neighborhood, adding that he regrets never getting to know the stuck-up workers at the cafe down the block, never visiting the overpriced bodega on his corner, and never becoming violently ill from the food at the crappy Mexican place across the street from him.
You know, I lived right next to that bar for 4 years, and I just wish I took more time to abhor the disgusting smell that hits you every time you walk by. I'd always heard this place blows. Guess it's a shame I never got to hate it like I should.
For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Lines are loaded up right now, so if you're getting a busy signal, drop into our Discord server, where there's way more to do than just chat with us on the air. You can chat with other listeners on the Discord server around the clock. With you here tonight, it's Ian,
Richie Rich,
and Mark.
You can go to the Discord over at discord.lrn.fm. And I want to say thank you to John T. Suter, who is a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier. John contributes
John.
Yep, $5 a month to the AMP program. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And he's one of our long-timers. We've got a lot of folks who've been amping for the show for many years and really appreciate all the ongoing support. Of course, appreciate people who've only been doing it for a week as well.
Sure.
And thank you for those who've gone to amp.freetalklive.com like John did and signed up there. Silver is our standard level. That's the level that we ask for. But some people do more. Some people do gold, which is $10 a month or even more than that. Over at amp.freetalklive.com, you will get some benefits. You get some perks as a result of becoming an amplifier. And one of those perks is access to the AMP chat rooms on the Discord that I was just telling you about. That's one of them. You can get the full list of benefits and some of the things that we do with the money. We also share that with you there on the AMP site. You can go to learn more and get signed up with credit card or PayPal or even Bitcoin BTC at ampamp.freetalklive.com. Let's go back to your calls and thoughts here. We're going to give Miguel another try in Virginia
That's right.
Beach.
Mess his name up again.
That's back with us here. It was a little discombobulated before, so I wanted to make sure you had enough time to kind of get your thoughts together. Go ahead, Miguel.
Okay. So, as a rebuttal to that Nebraska guy who was talking about how this image board, if you take it down, then it'll probably disperse and won't ever come back again or something.
Yeah, he was saying that the 8chaners would, if 8chan were taken down, that it would make it difficult for many of the 8chan users to figure out what to do next, and many of them would just drop off and they would not find whatever the next thing was. I don't buy it.
I believe I have a bit more faith in their, competence of how they're going to be able to spring back up. They're already, the core group of their user base is already refugees from, 4chan.
Right. Or other sites where they've been kicked out.
Yeah, other sites they've been kicked out or were banned and decided to go over there. And they've already, slowly, through, the bad press like this in sort of a morbid way, have gained a bit of an audience. And now, even when you, go over there and see if what they have anything to say about it, they're already talking about alternative sites to go there.
I bet they are. Yeah.
In case the press is a bit too much for them this time, and actually the site does go down under heavy pressure.
Right. In case the other people who dislike free speech, who don't have any libertarian sensibilities at all, which is, 99+% of the people who dislike free speech, then, it's coming, folks. They've got a plan, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Miguel?
Apparently there's already, there's apparently several sites they could go to, such as, for their particular needs, much like how Reddit has subreddits.
Have they named any names? Are there any of them that you heard of before, the other sites?
Apparently there was a good compilation for all the image board sites called allthechans.org that showcases several contenders, I believe.
So they want to keep going to these Chan-style sites, because I know that there's on
branding.
The Darknet, I know there's the Dread forums, which is like a Darknet version of Reddit. I think it's called Dread. Okay. It may be Dreadit, I'm not sure, but it's Dread something or other. And so that's.
I bet some really awful things go on there.
I think there's a lot of Darknet market talk, but I haven't looked further beyond that. That's how I found it, but there may be other subforums there. Miguel, thanks for. Go ahead quickly.
I believe there's also an image board site specifically on the Tor network that is a bit more well kept anonymously.
I suspect you were right about that, Miguel. Thanks for sharing your thoughts here tonight. I think that I'm gonna go with Miguel on this one. This isn't hard. Okay, you don't need to be a techno wizard to figure out.
I went on Silk Road. All I had to do was want to go.
And that was 2011 or 2012 or whatever,
Yeah, it was like
right?
2012.
Yeah.
I haven't wanted to go back. I just wanted to go on and say, well, I've been here. I wanted to send a message to Dread Pirate Roberts and see if I got something back.
Did I even need to hold your hand on how to do that?
Nope, I did it all on my own.
Wow. That shows how easy it truly
I just
was.
went and, how do you download the Tor network?
Yeah. Now it's easier than it ever was because now all you have to do is download the Tor browser for whatever your platform is.
Oh, I see.
Run the Tor browser and then put the URL in there. If you don't know the URL, you can search around, and if you look for a few minutes, you can usually find whatever. Where did the 8chaners go? Find out where this stuff is happening.
The other thing is, again, to reiterate, you want to keep them in the open so you can have easy access to monitor what they're doing.
I think so. Let's go on here, though, with your calls and thoughts. Next up, it's Drew in Virginia Beach listening to WNIS. Hello, Drew.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So, first of all, I honestly don't know what the HN thing is, but whatever it is, I believe there should be free speech and free information, whether I like it or don't like it.
I agree with you. Just to be clear, Drew, it's 8chan, like the number 8, and then CHAN.
As in channel.
Okay.
Yeah, 8chan.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
Please
whatever
don't.
It is.
Please don't.
Please do. Please do. I mean, see what's there.
So, I just, whatever. And I just noticed something about I'm from Virginia Beach. We had the Virginia Beach shooting, several weeks ago. Just find it interesting, like the way the news filters out what they're going to tell you and not tell you. So prior to the Virginia Beach shooting, you always got a rundown of the shooter, or the suspect's age, gender, a photograph, their race, and possibly their name. And then afterwards, the ones afterwards, the same thing: age, gender, race, photograph. 21-year-old white guy, blah blah blah. I've heard it all day on the news about Walmart, right? But when it happened to be someone who didn't fit the profile in Virginia Beach, they were like, "Oh, we're not going to give this guy his number." It was like, "We're not going to say his name. We're not going to show his picture. We're not going to give him any credit because we're going to stop this stuff." And it took several days before I realized that he didn't look like what we expect. The stereotype of a shooter.
Oh.
If you know what I mean.
Didn't fit the narrative.
I didn't even know that. That's news to me.
Yeah. The thing is, like, he happened to be a black guy. I mean, there's good people and bad people of all different colors.
Sure.
But it just sounded very interesting that suddenly they wanted to do this. We're not going to utter his name, and they only uttered it one time. And here, this is at the local station. People didn't even realize until days after that he just happened not to be a white guy. I just find it interesting that when something doesn't fit the narrative, the pop news culture doesn't want to mention it. And I don't know. I would think that that's dangerous. If we're looking at, they say, well, if you see something, say something. But if you're filtering out the statistics, then people are going to assume that, you get what I'm saying,
that it'll always be a white guy or whatever.
Well, that's also why they
Right.
don't talk about these active shooters that get put down early on in the process before it comes to mass shooting. Because those are usually in areas where someone was carrying openly or concealed or wasn't a gun-free zone.
It was the good guy with the gun thing.
The good guy with the gun thing. And that never makes the news or the mainstream media
I think
because it doesn't fit the narrative.
I think your observation is very interesting, Drew, and I think that, again, it does back up what you'd said, that we need to have more information. We don't need to have less information. Let the information flow. That's what information desires to do. That's what it should do. And anytime that it's restricted, we're all worse off because of it, even if it's despicable, even if the things that are being said are
disgusting,
are terrifying or awful or whatever. I'd rather see that available than see the world that would result from trying to restrict it. Drew, great call tonight. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. If you want to join us here, our toll-free number, it's 855-450-FREE. We've got the remaining moments of Free Talk Live on the way and a full board of phone calls. If you are on the line, we will do our best to get you on here. It's been we had show prep beyond this one
it
topic.
Wasn't the one thing.
But interestingly, we got more response from you, our listeners, on the question of stopping 8chan than we did just generally talking about this psychopath and his ideas last night. It was more of like a dissection of him last night and what he believed. And tonight, what do people want to do about it? We've heard both sides here. People who want to see restrictions to speech engaged in voluntarily, and those who are saying no. Let it be said. There's more on the way. Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Message and data rates may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you ever have to worry about hair loss, because Bosley is the real deal. They're giving women and men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started is a single text message. You'll get an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card when you text Titan11 to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. You'll also see, for free, why you're losing hair and how to get it back. Women and men all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert. Ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part? Bosley has permanent solutions to hair loss. You'll love what they'll do for your hair. So drop what you're doing long enough to send a text. Get your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting Titan11 to 85850. Don't forget, that's TITAN 11 to 85850.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon you'll need a plan and place to survive. Forget bunkers. You're not a live underground gopher. You need survivalist camps, the ultimate fully functional, off-the-grid mobile survival bug-out house that's well-equipped and custom-built to outlast any other RV or trailer. Bold statement? You bet. See them now at survivalistcamps.com. That's survivalistcamps.com. Trust your family's survival to survivalistcamps.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you tired of your taxes funding endless occupations around the world? Antiwar.com is run by people who understand that wars abroad become wars at home, wars on our freedoms. Antiwar.com is dedicated to bringing you the latest in news, views, interviews, and reviews from the top movers and shakers in the anti-occupation movement. Antiwar.com has it all, from thorough foreign policy analysis to interviews with whistleblowers who used to run the military-industrial complex. Anti-war, pro-free market. That's antiwar.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You bring up what you want, take control of the airwaves here in the remaining moments. Maybe enough time if you get on the line now, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733, or you can join us on our Discord server at discord.lrn.fm. We got a bunch of great features on our website. And another great feature is the fact that we've got live video streaming available on three different platforms. We don't generally talk about the YouTube one because it's the least of the quality choices, but we're on YouTube still.
It's the big one.
We're also on it's amazingly still used by people. We're also on Twitch. and also DLive. You can go to dlive.lrn.fm and follow us there. We're looking to hit 1,000 followers on DLive. We have hit 1,000 on Twitch within the last few weeks, and you can follow us on Twitch over at twitch.lrn.fm as we go to more of your calls and thoughts. It's Ian, Richie, and Mark in the studio tonight. Let's go to the phones where Bo is on the line in New York, listening on the radio. Bo, where are you calling from in New York?
Potsdam.
Potsdam. Welcome. You're on Free Talk Live.
When there's a church shooting in Keene, New Hampshire.
Okay, you are banned from the show, sir. We go on with other callers. Let's talk to Pat in Virginia. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Pat.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Pat. What's on your mind?
Oh, do you recall that pilot that landed on one of them busy roads out there in Washington State this week?
Oh, recently? Yeah.
No, I don't know anything about this.
It was a single seat like little prop plane, and he had like an engine malfunction.
Yep.
And he timed his landing on the highway, and like miraculously a state trooper caught it on video as he's landing on the highway, and he stops right before a red light. It's ridiculous. It looks like a movie scene, but he timed it so the traffic gap left him enough room.
So he fit right in between the cars, basically?
No, there are no cars. He waited,
okay.
He got a stretch of clear where the cars were stopped. It was amazing. Yeah, go on, caller. Sorry.
Yeah. It was like he said, it was amazing. But they said something about they might fine him through the FAA regulations or something.
Of course they would. Like, oh, this guy's in jeopardy. He's managed to land his plane safely. Let's write him a ticket.
Yeah,
Pat, thanks for the call tonight. Appreciate it. Wow, I'm surprised he was able to dial the phone. Let's go on here. We continue. We've got Joan calling from Long Island. Listening.
Hey, good evening, guys. How you doing tonight?
Listening on your Alexa. Go ahead, Joan. Good.
Yeah, early Sunday night. There's nothing on TV. I'm happy to listen to you guys. Listen, I have an issue. You guys think that we should just relax the border totally and let everybody come in?
That's not right.
That's what I think. Freedom, baby.
I don't think
that. All right, listen. I don't want you to think that I'm an immigrant hater. I certainly am not.
Okay.
I've got a lot of immigrants around me here where I live.
Skeptical.
I respect their work ethic. They work very hard, and I appreciate their effort. And I also appreciate their ambition. They want to get ahead.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a
when
butt
they're
coming.
in my yard doing my landscaping, I go out there with water and cookies. I try to treat them with respect. I appreciate them.
Okay.
I know what it is when you're hungry and you want to have a job.
Gotcha.
However, I don't know any other country in the world that does not have any kind of border protection.
Why would you want to be like the other countries?
Well, because we got hit on 9/11 and we did not see it coming.
They were all here legally.
You know what? I don't know how they got here.
Legally.
But somehow they got in and New York got hit. And one other thing.
The FBI knew about
where I live on Long Island.
Hold on, before you get to your one other
away.
thing. How is a bunch of bureaucrats demanding obedience and paperwork and cash from people going to stop somebody from hijacking an airplane if that's what they want to do?
Listen, you don't have to tell me anything about bureaucrats because I have no respect for Republicans or Democrats. They're all bought and paid for.
Okay. Well, I
worried
wasn't
about
telling
my
you
country.
anything. Oh, whoa.
Okay,
I
my
wasn't telling
country.
you anything about them. I asked you, how are you expecting these bureaucrats, those are the Border Patrol, okay, whether they be the people that process paperwork or the people standing around with guns or whatever, these bureaucrats are somehow going to stop a violent act from being taken place by requiring paperwork and money, because that's what it takes, right? You have to hire an attorney to jump through all these Border Patrol, INS or whatever hoops that they have.
To do it legally.
To fill out all the damn paperwork, to submit it with all the application fees, to jump through the ridiculous hoops. That's all we're talking about is just hoops. Legal hoops.
Well, you know what? God bless the Border Patrol. They
Why?
have a job to do. And most of them are...
Screw their job.
No, screw their job.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Screw the country?
Yeah, screw
We
the
have
U.S. The United
MS-13.
States
That's
government can go
from my
burn
house.
down as far as I'm concerned.
All those
Oh
government
my
goons,
gosh,
tyrants,
please,
and
guys,
despots.
let's get real, please.
I thought you said you didn't like bureaucracy.
We have fentanyl and human trafficking. Don't you give a crap about that?
Absolutely. That's why I advocate for the
stop it?
legalization of prostitution. That way human trafficking will go down to next to zero.
What about 6 and 7-year-old little girls and boys.
Well, sometimes that
trafficked.
happens. But you will admit that the vast majority of human trafficking that they're talking about is just coyotes taking people across the border, right?
One or two too many. We have to protect these children.
Well, how is arresting adults for having sex for money protecting children?
They should be locked up like that guy Epstein. That's going down.
You didn't answer my
finally.
question. I said, how is it arresting adults for having sex with each other for money is protecting children?
Listen, I don't care what adults do with each other.
Well, then
but
you
I
would
do
support-
care about the exploitation of children.
Same here.
And I don't
Great.
care if they're legal or illegal.
I'm
We
with
should
you,
try
Joan. There's no doubt about it. I am totally with you. People should not be forced into slavery, whether it's sex slavery or some other kind of slavery. That is wrong. However, it sounds like you did just agree with me that prostitution should be legalized. So you agree with that? Okay,
I have
good.
no problem with that. But I think we should try to protect innocent children that are being used.
And you don't
No
need the
doubt.
Border Patrol for that.
Yeah, I don't think the Border Patrol stops that.
They're not
much,
going to
but,
do that.
you
Yeah.
know.
Thanks for the call tonight, Joan. Appreciate it. In fact, the Border Patrol and the fact that there are restrictions on being able to come here actually puts children in danger, because the parents who want to migrate here, but they don't want to jump through the ridiculous paperwork, or maybe they don't feel like they can, or they can't afford it, or they don't understand it, or whatever, they're going to come here anyway, and they're going to bring their kids.
Some of them are buying kids to come over.
And they will either try to do it on their own and, risk whatever desert demise that they could encounter.
Or they turn themselves in, and then they're all locked in cages.
Or
kids are locked in cages right now, having their psyche scarred by the U.S.
government. Yeah, that's happening too. Or the parents will hire a coyote to bring them across the border, which means they may get packed in the back of some dreadfully hot truck as they're
raped.
Or God knows, what else horrible things could happen. But one of the typical stories that you'll hear about is you'll find a truck full of bodies because, well, they packed them in there, but they didn't give them any water to drink while they were, transporting and smuggling them across the border, and you end up with dead children that way. So is that how you want the children to die? Because they will continue dying that way.
And activists who are leaving water in the desert for them to get are getting arrested for that activism.
And they're
as well.
taking the water or destroying the water. Yes.
What is the crime leaving water in the desert? Is it a littering charge?
I don't know.
What does that even mean?
Aiding illegal immigration or something to that effect.
Wow.
I'd have to look it up, but yeah, that's a thing.
The news story's already out. Yeah.
Yeah, I had not heard that. I guess I shouldn't be surprised by it, but man, that is just that's so cold.
Yeah.
I mean, that is horrifying. So if you want to join the show, you're certainly welcome to do so. Our toll-free number is 855-453.
Did all the callers drop?
We burned through a bunch of calls there, Mark.
Okay, great.
8chan has been run out of the Philippines by Jim Watkins, a U.S. Army veteran, since 2015, since the original creator of the site gave up control. The site remains completely unmoderated, or nearly completely unmoderated, according to the New York Times, and its commitment to keeping up even the most violent speech has made it a venue for extremists to test out ideas, share violent literature, and cheer on the perpetrators of mass killings. Users on 8chan frequently lionize mass shooters using jokey internet vernacular, referring to their body counts as high scores, and creating memes praising the killers. Mr. Brennan, who has a condition known as brittle bone disease and uses a wheelchair, has tried to distance himself from the site he founded and its current owners. In March, he interviewed with the Wall Street Journal. He expressed his regrets over his role in the site's creation and warned that the violent culture that had taken root on 8chan's boards could lead to more mass shootings. After the El Paso shooting, he seemed resigned to the fact that it had. Quote, another 8chan shooting, he tweeted Saturday, am I ever going to be able to move on with my life, unquote.
Should have been able to do that when you sold the site.
Watkins, who runs 8chan along with his son Ronald, has remained defiant in the face of criticism and has resisted calls to moderate or shut down the site. On Sunday, a banner at the top of 8chan's homepage read, quote, welcome to 8chan, the darkest reaches of the internet, unquote.
Nice.
Watkins did not respond to multiple requests for comment. 8chan's critics tried a different tactic to get the site shut down, trying to pressure its service providers, including its web host, to cut off Watkins. One provider, Cloudflare, makes software that protects websites, including 8chan, from cyber attacks. In 2017, they did shut down the Daily Stormer. So, not sure what they're going to do in this case. As it develops, we will bring it to you here on Free Talk Live. In the meantime, you can join us online over at freetalklive.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,439. Silver at $16.31, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,388. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, physicians from two top universities are calling on Congress to promptly investigate the deaths of 6 migrant children in the government's custody, warning that the widely reported poor conditions in detention centers could be putting thousands of children at risk for infectious diseases. The Mind Unleashed reports that 3 of the 6 children who died while in U.S. custody since last September died partially because they had contracted influenza. 2 died after spending twice the amount of time in a Border Patrol station than the Department of Homeland Security typically allows. About 2,000 migrant children are in U.S. custody on any given day, many after a grueling journey from Central America and elsewhere. The children are in Border Patrol stations, where many have been kept for far longer than the facilities are equipped to house people. Detention centers run by ICE and the Health and Human Services Department, and facilities run by for-profit government contractors like CoreCivic. The doctors urge lawmakers to probe how the widely reported unsanitary conditions in the centers contributed to the deaths that have been recorded. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report from Georgetown Law's Center on Privacy and Technology suggests that Immigration and Customs Enforcement may be using illegal immigration as a type of cover to track and spy on Americans in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. Activist Post reports that 3 years ago, the center revealed that nearly half of all U.S. adults are already in the FBI's facial recognition database, which is largely sourced from DMV photos. ICE has apparently requested special access to Department of Motor Vehicles databases in at least 3 states, Utah, Washington State, and Vermont, which the federal agency plans to use in conjunction with facial recognition technology to scan people's driver's license photos and match them against criminal and residency databases, all without their knowledge or consent. The documents uncovered this week are the first confirmation that states have granted ICE specifically, not just the FBI, access to those databases. The CIA has released a batch of documents detailing how their Office of Public Affairs staff met with film director Michael Bay and successfully leaned on him to make changes to the script to his film 13 Hours. The Mind Unleashed reports that the 2016 action thriller is the only major movie Hollywood has produced about the attacks on the United States Special Mission in Benghazi and the nearby CIA annex. It grossed less than $70 million against a $50 million budget, and is the least commercially successful film Bay has ever produced. While audiences rated 13 Hours more highly than critics, the film's attempt to capitalize on the politics of the Benghazi attacks largely failed. The documents released under the Freedom of Information Act reveal that Bay first approached the CIA in March 2015, weeks before production started. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the